Welcome to my Scotch kitchen. I'm Daniela Forbes, and today I'm going to be showing you a selection of different steaks you can buy and how to cook one perfectly. Choosing a steak can be quite confusing if you don't know which cut you're looking for. So here's a selection of steak that we're looking at today. Firstly, we have the sirloin. It's cut from the middle back. It has a nice layer of fat on it and light marbling. This is tender, moist and juicy, and probably people's favourite. Next, we've got the ribeye. This has a lot more marbling and a bit more fat, so it's really tasty, but less tender than the fillet. You can see this has the least fat on it. It's the most tender of all, and it's best cooked rare, possibly with a peppercorn sauce. Finally, we've got the T-bone. Great looking steak. It's got sirloin on one side and fillet on the other, so you do need to take special care when cooking it, but great for a special occasion. There's an easy way to tell how done your steak is. It's called the finger test. Make a circle with your index finger and your thumb and press down on the flesh. Now that feels soft and springy, so that mimics the feeling of a rare steak. Next, move on to your middle finger. You'll feel there's a little bit more tension now, so that's the feeling of a medium rare steak. Next, your ring finger. Press onto that, starting to get a lot more firm. That's the feeling of a medium steak. Finally, move right up to your pinky. That's very firm to the touch. That's how a well done steak would feel. Now let's cook our Scotch beef sirloin steak. This is a lovely steak. It's been cut to about 2.5 centimetres thick. First thing we need to do is make sure the steak's at room temperature. If it's too cold, when it hits the pan, lots of the moisture will come out and it'll be quite a dry steak. Then we're going to pat it dry, turn it over, do the same thing on the other side. Now we need to get our pan on to heat up. I'm using a heavy based frying pan so it gets nice and hot. Pop it up to a high temperature. We're going to prepare our steak by putting some oil on it before we cook it, just so it doesn't stick. Drizzle that on. I'm using rapeseed oil. Make sure that we're covering the entire surface area. And do the same to the other side. Make sure you get some on the fat too. Next, I'm going to season it. I've got sea salt and crushed black pepper. Just going to sprinkle some of that on both sides. This will help to form a lovely crust on the outside. Now let's check our pan. I'm going to add a little bit of oil to make sure the steak doesn't stick. It also lets us see that the pan is nice smoking, so that means it's hot enough for the steak to go in. Now let's carefully place it into the centre of the pan. Lovely sizzle, that's what you're looking for. Just press it down, make sure you get full contact with the pan, and we're going to let that cook for about 2 minutes on both sides for a medium rare steak. You can cook it for slightly longer if you like it medium or medium well. Now it's important that we don't move the steak around the pan too much. If we do, it won't have a chance to form that lovely crust and caramelisation on the outside. Press it onto the other side again. Once you've done that, leave it again to cook for about 2 minutes on the other side. Just before it's finished cooking, we can move it to the edge of the pan just to sear the outside. Now this is really important. You have to let the steak rest for at least 3 minutes, just to make sure that all the juices go back into the steak. It will be extra succulent and delicious. There you go. Once it's rested, it's ready to serve. For more information, visit your app store and look for Perfect Steaks and Roasts.